Ah, good morning, happy Saturday, everyone. Holy cow, was yesterday incredible. You know what? I have to say, my low is that yesterday had to come to an end because it was great. So actually, let me take care of a couple things. Well, for my high TLDR, I was able to do not one but two things that were on my 2026 bucket list. I saw the movie Hoppers, which obviously you saw the title of the video. You know I'm going to be talking about this movie. And last night, I saw the band Kill Rush play at Illegal Tap House, which, I mean, listen, if you are a fan of Irish music, seeing Kill Rush needs to be on your to-do list. Because Kill Rush killed it, okay? Like, that's how good they were. They were great. There was everybody, dancing to Irish music. It was wonderful. Here's what's interesting. Like, for those of you who don't know, when I make my 2026 bucket list, or whatever year bucket list it is, there are some things that I know for a fact are going to be happening that I just leave on the list anyway. And anything else I add to the list, it's because I did. And for the second year, obviously last year I didn't know Kill Rush even existed because last year was the first time they were illegal. This year, though, they came back again. So I'm like, should I? I'm like, I'll just add them onto the list if it ever gets that. So I added back on the list. It was great. 2026 bucket list, man. It's actually filling out pretty nicely so far. I think the best thing about this particular list is I feel like I'm doing a better job of not trying to force anything. Like, trust me, I know what worst case scenario is because, last year in trying to make something happen, I got in a car accident. So, obviously, you got to take things one day at a time. It's been great. I can honestly say I haven't had any problems so far this year. At least in terms of being able to do things like put on my list. Oh, actually, that's not true. I did miss eating ice cream for breakfast on National Eat Ice Cream for Breakfast Day. But I blame on the marketing for The Last Stand because I didn't see any marketing until it was well too late. Anyway, actually, what's my act of kindness? Well, I did some laundry yesterday, and I did some of my parents' laundry as well as I spent some time with my dad because he was going to go to Florida last night. He is in Florida, as far as I know. I haven't been told anything else. Because now my entire family's in Florida. They're at Disney World. I'm sure they're having a wonderful time. And I'm sure you're probably wondering, why didn't they take you? Well, first of all, I have a busy schedule. And also, listen, I know exactly what my plans are for today. Full stop. I'm actually going to be going to a service for someone I knew after I make this video. But after that, I plan on going back to Illegal Tap House because for the third year in a row, they're going to be doing their celebration of the 21st Amendment. They always have a bourbon tasting, which I'm going to. I mean, honestly, this is the outfit I plan on wearing next Saturday when Horseheads at the St. Patrick's Day Parade and when I do the Old Ithaca Road Ale Trail for St. Patrick's Day bar crawl. So, yeah. I think this outfit goes together pretty well. Huh. Then again, I'm not really much of a fashion guy, but it is what it is. So yeah. let's talk about hoppers, shall we? Actually, let me get have some notes on it. I can just get to that in a minute. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I just wanted to look up one quick thing. Okay, so I can't really talk about this movie without first talking about the director, who is Daniel Chong. Now, for those of you who wouldn't know this, and I'm sure there's probably a bunch of you who don't know this, Daniel Chong originally started working at Pixar, and he worked there for a good while. He then later went off on his own and created a show on Cartoon Network called We Bare Bears, which is actually a really good show. I'll get more on that in a second. After, he felt his show was completed, he went back to Pixar and he made this movie. So yeah, it's actually kind of a full circle moment. In fact, as I talk more on this, several people who worked on We Bare Bears are in this movie. But obviously I gotta get into what the movie's about. Basically, there's this girl named Mabel, played by Piper Curda, who really loves animals. She gets in trouble trying to liberate the animals from, the teacher's literal pet, in school, like trying to save the class frog or class turtle and stuff like that. She gets in trouble. She's also known to have a bit of a rage issue. It's then when she goes to her grandmother shows her a very special glade where there's nothing around. You're just surrounded by the sounds of nature, which I have always been a big proponent of the sounds of nature myself. And there's a lot of really great lessons in this movie. It really is hard to be mad when you know that you're part of something bigger. There's several really great lessons in this movie, holy cow. And obviously as Mabel gets older, she stays with her grandmother while her parents move away because, she wants to be with her grandmother. Her grandmother's passed away of, I imagine, old age. They don't really explain how she passed. She attends school at her local university where she's still, basically she's an animal, I wouldn't say she's an animal rights activist, but the mayor of Beaverton, played by John Hamm, I was not expecting that. John Hamm is awesome. He's really great in this movie. He wants to destroy the glade to build a highway that would take, and I'm not kidding, 4 minutes off of everyone's driving. Yeah, again, I mentioned that the director of this movie made We Bare Bears. There's a lot of that kind of humor from that show that's in this movie. And it works. Well, largely because, you gotta make things a little bit more interesting and fun. Actually, I gotta talk about the We Bare Bears movie too, because I did see that, And I thought about doing a MoReas on. You know what? You can get 2 movies for the price of one. The We Bare Bears movie and Hoppers. Which, I mean, We Bare Bears at its core is a very charming show, which will lead to a very charming movie. And it's basically 3 bears. There's Grizz, played by Eric Edelstein, Panda, played by Bobby Moynihan, and Ice Bear, played by Dimitri Martin. And they live in the human world. I believe they live in the San Francisco area, or near the San Francisco area. And, you know, they're just trying to live their lives, just trying to mingle with society. You know, they still live in a cave. They do some bear things, like live out in the woods. But, you know, they'll come to town and they don't really hurt anyone. They cause a lot of really funny shenanigans. But at the end of the day, they don't really hurt anyone. Seriously, if you've never seen We Bare Bears, give that show a watch. Because it's really charming. And its movie was a lot more the same. You know, the bears are, you know, captured and they're trying to get free. Well, they do cause some shenanigans themselves, and that's what gets them in trouble. But throughout the movie, like, you're rooting for the bears, like, you know, they can get out of this, you know? Seriously, like, that show, I mean, obviously, Daniel Chong, great at humor, but without the cast of Eric Edelstein, Bobby Moynihan, and Dimitri Martin, that show doesn't work. And without those 3 same people, a lot of the movie wouldn't work either. Yes, those 3 actors that were on We Bare Bears are in this movie. I mean, Bobby Moynihan plays Kane Beaver. He's in all the promotional material. You know that. And, you know, Bobby Moynihan, he's known a lot for SNL, but he's done a lot of great voiceover work as well. And obviously, a lot of DuckTales 2017 fans would know him as Louie. But, you know, Bobby Moynihan's really great in this movie. John Hamm is really great in this movie. Eric Edelstein, who was Grizz, he's an additional voice, but I know what voice he is. He's actually in the very beginning of the movie where he's one of the construction workers that are like right next to the button that's about to, you know, blow up the dam that Mabel winds up saving for the day. And Dimitri Martin was just a giant flock of birds that are all, like when Mabel becomes a beaver, more than a second, like she sees all these birds talking, they're all Dimitri Martin's voice. I'm like, hey, that's Dimitri Martin. So, yeah, it's great to see that those 3 were in this movie. But the reason why the mayor well, technically what the mayor did was illegal, but he was able to make all the animals in that area go away so no animals would get hurt in the making of the dam, which, while yes, it's important no animals get hurt, the way he did it, technically kind of illegal. Basically, the mayor installed a fake tree that emit a very high sound that only animals can hear. And, you know, people can't. So that sound drove all the animals away. Now, in order to save the glade, what they need is there needs to be a beaver there, because, you know, they build the dam, which essentially builds a pond, and all the wildlife can come to that pond for, you know, water, because that's literally the driving force of all life is water. And man, this cast is just so good, man. I mean, hold on a second. Let's see. The council, like the people they got for the council is great. I mean, obviously Bobby Moynihan is, you know, the Beaver King or the Mammal King. Isaiah Whitlock Jr. plays Bird King, who's a goose. Steve Purcell plays the Amphibian King, which is a frog. Ego Nwadum, wow, she's the fish queen. She's the fish monarch. And Nicole Sakura is the reptile queens. There's three of them. A trio of snake sisters. And then Meryl Streep plays the insect queen, who, because it, like, the insect queen is supposed to be, you know, the scary, well, ultimately her son wants to become the villain, played by Dave Franco, which, by the way, I was not expecting Dave Franco. I didn't know Dave Franco was in this movie. He makes for a really great villain in this. I was shocked. Like, shocked. Man, it's such a great cast. Vanessa Bayer is Diane the shark, who's great. But as I said earlier, I was getting to what it's about. So the doctor at the university that Mabel goes to, played by Kathy Najimy, Peggy Hill from King of the Hill, one of the Sanderson sisters as well, from Hocus Pocus. She invented what's called hopping technology. Basically, they make little robot animals that look like actual animals, and they put their brain into, well, they put their mind into the, brain wavelengths into. They don't actually put their mind in there. Come on, that's crazy. They electronically put their mind into the animal, and so they're able to walk around and do stuff. And I mean, honestly, as I was watching this movie, I'm like, okay, with each situation, because listen, one thing about a great story that needs to be done for it to be great is you can't have anything plot convenience related without some sort of sacrifice or why am I or well, yeah, it's true, but there's another word I give it. You can't have something good related without something bad as it begins with a C-O. What word am I thinking of? Consequences. Thank you. Consequences. Like, you can't do anything without consequences occurring. That's what I was trying to get at. Thank you. And that does happen a lot in this movie, but in a smart way. Like, you're wondering, how is everything going to be resolved in this movie? Like, how? And in the meantime, you're laughing at all the great jokes in this movie. I mean, Piper Curda is a great American. Her race is Japanese American, which Daniel Chong is no stranger to because he would use a lot of different races of different characters in We Bare Bear, so it definitely works here too. But she makes for a phenomenal lead. So Piper Curda, if you're seeing this, you were great. I mean, definitely Pixar leading lady if there ever was one. Actually, there have been a few leading ladies. I mean, Merida from Brave, she was good. Wow, did Pixar? Well, technically, Joy and I guess by extension Riley from the Inside Out movies, which that was actually one of the reviews. This is Pixar's best movie since Inside Out, which I'll say this. I said that Pixar has only made me cry twice. Oh, actually 3 times. The first was Coco. The first was Inside Out. Second time was Coco. And the third time was Toy Story 4. Sadly, this movie didn't make me cry, but that in no way takes away from how good it is. This movie was great. Like, I mean, I'm sure, the Oscars are coming up, and therefore this movie's not going to get any nominations. Next year, for sure, it will be. Like, right now, this movie is the #1 contender for the best animated picture of 2026 for next year's Oscars. I mean, and I made a post about this after I posted I saw this movie. I know that for a lot of people, you know, in terms of movies coming from the House of Mouse this year, the two big things that are coming out are going to be Toy Story 5 and then Avengers Doomsday, which I do plan on seeing. I would like to see those. I mean, come on. Why wouldn't they? Two of the most famous franchises right now. But I really hope no one sleeps on this movie, because Daniel Chong put a lot of his heart and soul into this movie, and you can tell. Like, it definitely has a lot of his writing that he had from We Bare Bears, but it's very smart, clever, funny. It knows. That was another great thing about We Bare Bears that Daniel Chong brought here. Like, yeah, for all intents and purposes, you know, this movie is a comedy. But believe me when I tell you, there are moments where you're allowed to breathe and relax and enjoy what you're seeing on screen. That's what great movie making is. Show, don't tell. Or if you have to tell, don't say too much. You know, less is more in that regard. But man, I tell you what, Pixar did again. First movie of 2026, and I loved it. You know what? I mentioned earlier that my family's in Disney World right now. I would not be surprised if Disney World does something awesome like let everyone who's at the park see hoppers. That'd be pretty cool. That's something Disney World, that's something Disney World, Disneyland should do. That's what the Disney theme park should do. Like, if there's like a big movie coming out that's animated, they need to do something for people who are at the park that specific weekend. Like, hey, we'll let you guys watch the movie if you go. Like, okay, cool. Why not? I mean, listen, they're in Disneyland, Disney World. They're already paying an arm and a leg to go there. If they're able to see a hit movie while they're there, they're definitely getting their money's worth. I hope you like this video. If you like, subscribe to YouTube channel, follow social media. As always, I'm your home. Thanks for all you guys watching over there. We have a wonderful Saturday. And remember, everything is we want to talk to you. We're here to lend you. Always be back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby. Oh. Oh, I hate when that. What the tie fall? I hate when the tie falls out of the back of this thing.